Jesus Christ, fucking it up
Ruined
again.
it, dude.
Yeah, welcome back to the Lost Minds podcast, where we just get straight into it, dude. And if you're not first, you're last, because someone's got to break the ice, dude. And unfortunately, it is always me, and I make.
You
a
went
weird
backwards on that racetrack, dude. You
I went straight to
player won us.
Thank you, dude. So I solved it. Thank you,
Solved
dude.
it. You solved the problem of humanity.
Solved it, dude. Solved the thing of life. That's what is going to happen here on this episode. We're going to solve the
everybody's
true meaning
problems.
of life and the one question that there is. Just stick through to the very end, dude, and you'll know what the meaning of life is. So
I already know, dude.
What is it?
Oh, I gotta wait till the end.
Oh, yeah, no, you got to make them wait to the know. We already know.
Suspense is killing me.
Yeah, tell them that. Tell them it, and tell the people, and you're like, sell it in your best, like, give them your best sell.
I actually just forgot.
Oh no, you're like, you can't wait till the
Dang
end.
it.
Yeah, you're like, wait till the very end. You're gonna
Just
get your
as I'm-
biscuits buttered up so nice. I don't know.
Just as I'm about to say it, dude,
Sell him the
you're
pencil.
gonna end it.
Power.
We run out.
Yeah, Edmund turns around. He's like, yeah. I'm like, or I just hit him with the fucking something like that. Or
I like the coins, dude. The coins is the best because it makes me feel rich.
okay,
There we go.
here we go. I did want to talk about the FTX shit a little bit more, and then I was going to talk about
Did you lose money?
some boss stuff. No, not me. But we didn't talk about it. We talked about it a little bit last time, but man, there's so much more that I find interesting on
There's
it.
a lot of stuff that's interesting with
So I was
that.
like, kind of cool,
Like
dude.
who's getting all that money?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Where it's all gone, dude.
It's a washing machine, dude.
Just went to fucking.
It's cleaning money.
Or dude, the real ones, dude.
FTX.
Did you guys watch the orgy video? What's going on, dude?
No,
I
dude.
have not.
You're not gonna make us watch the fucking orgy.
He's
dude.
linked it to
Come on,
us.
guys, dude.
Jesus.
They got all that good stuff in there.
I have
But-
not watched it.
Yeah, we also want to talk about some
You
boss,
Twice.
boss,
you open up
boss
your
moves
laptop.
and
Oh,
shit,
whoa,
too.
wait, yo.
How'd that get there?
Yeah.
Fucking brick.
Should we just jump into the FTX stuff, dude? If you wanna
Yeah,
talk
go ahead.
about
I
that
don't even
shit?
know anything about it, but
Because
yeah.
that's what's kind of weird. That's one thing that has been getting buried down a lot. A lot of people may have or may not have heard about it, but it's a financial scandal that's probably like, well, at least definitely more money than Enron. And Enron is huge, dude. Everyone's talking about Enron,
Yeah.
but now you don't talk about it.
You know why nobody's talking about it? Because the Democratic Party is involved in it heavily.
Yeah, very big in it, especially with a lot of the money that was donated in it, which is weird. So it's a big,
It was like 30 billion
yeah, or something. And it was like a crazy amount. So what it
or
was
20 billion was donated to them,
to the
to the Democratic Party.
yeah, to the DNC, huh? Yeah, and then there was another
For real?
chunk of
Yes.
money. There was like $1 million something.
So I know that it was the government that sent money to Ukraine, and then Ukraine invested into FTX, and FTX donated to the DNC.
yeah, it made
Right? That's how it went. Right? That's the
loop.
circle of.
Because there was a bit of washing
Money.
that had gone with
It was money. They were money using a war, but they also used that
Yeah.
same money to fund the presidency, like to get to the up to the
Really?
Yeah.
So it's been going on for that long.
Yes,
That's
And
wild.
they're-
I thought it was just recent.
like the race between Biden and Trump was
Mhm.
funded by that
in
FTX.
there.
Wow, I did not know.
What is that sound?
Somebody outside of you, maybe we didn't show
Uh,
the window. Yeah, well, the thing
Thought it
that's
was in my head
wild
again.
about it is so. Well, it's new. It's based on kind of like a banking system. So you can what you're supposed to do is you take your crypto and you put it in their account, and then you make interest on that by it being in their account, and they're doing it. And the way their thing was set up too is it's a fucking array of businesses, and there's just a number of them. And what a lot of them were doing were leveraging off the same assets. So basically, whatever they owned.
Yeah.
And what it really was, the only thing they really had were all the money that people were putting in and all the crypto that people were putting in. So they had accounts like Citadel accounts that were doing calls and all kinds of weird options that were using people's money and leveraging people's money and taking loans out at millions and billions of dollars off of the other stuff, which wasn't there. And so when they end up losing money on all that stuff, they end up having to file for bankruptcy. But when they were going back through the insurances, it was all leverage off the assets through their own company. So it was, they leveraged it on nothing and stuff. It's like
what's
leveraging the
funny
same
about that?
Rubik's Cube to both of you guys, but it's like there's only one. And if someone, I already lost it, got destroyed, who's getting it? Now three of us have
The
lost
funny thing
kinda
about it is I think we talked about the same thing that happened in China a few years back, where the Chinese citizens lost billions of dollars.
That was a few
That was,
months.
yeah, that
back.
was not
Yes.
even that long ago. Yeah, and
So
it's still kind
they-
of happening.
So that happened over there, basically the same exact thing,
Yeah.
and then now this happened over here.
Yeah, and, well,
So you can
well, the weirdest part about the
take
whole
it how you like.
well, and then also too, the FTX thing is kind of weird how it was going down because the guy he was even saying to people on Twitter, nothing's going on, it's totally fine, and then not even 24 hours later, it was closing down, bankruptcies, everything was like
Why
going
would you
down.
tell anybody that anything's
Yeah,
wrong?
then
dude?
all of a sudden everyone's
It's
like, "Holy
fine. The
shit,
ship's
dude."
sinking.
Yeah,
It's like
in there.
the captain of the Titanic. We're gonna make it. It's like,
He has a megaphone. He's already on a fucking escape pod.
yeah,
You guys will be fine.
Well, it's
we're
crazy.
almost to England.
Yeah, and then the part that's nuts on that shit too is like, then it comes out, it's like, well, what the heck were they doing? Well, the business was actually in the Bahamas, so it's offshore, so it's actually done through there, and it's not necessarily done there. So like, a lot of money's been washed and closed through there, and that's when they're coming to find it was a handful of people, and that actually they were just spending the money like crazy, having all kinds of crazy orgies and just
Hell yeah.
partying it up over there, and kind of just
mean, that's
making up
disgusting.
everything that they were doing, and now when they're coming to find too. It even goes deeper. So yeah, you're finding the donations. So they're finding the way that they made the whole circle of all their donations, and they're even now finding out the main dude. Even when you look at his main Twitter profile, he's wearing the freaking heart shape one,
3 lives.
which is actually the symbol for boy lover for the CIA terms for inside of like how they have.
Dude, now you're getting into like cute.
Oh yeah,
What?
dude. Yeah, no, it is
I thought
in there.
that was the heart within a heart collection.
That's
from
ca-
the fucking lady.
Just saying, dude. That's supposedly a boy lover collection, but
I haven't heard that.
it also
Do you have any proof?
well, because with it being in the islands, it also has connections back with the Epstein thing because it
Just because it's on an island.
It's like a Swiss
That's a
Well,
stretch.
yeah.
well, there's a lot of the
I
people
feel like
that,
there was also airplanes.
well, a lot of these celebrities
A
that
lot
move
of
out,
sand.
yeah, a lot of them that move out there, they actually switch their passports to a place called Tartaria, which is actually an area that is a set of islands. It was an old set of islands. So like the Epsteins, all of them
I
have
thought that
their
was like
passports
old
in
Russia,
Tartaria.
wasn't it? It was like
It's an old
supposedly
nation.
Tartarians,
Tartarians?
Tartaria or whatever the fuck it is, are the ones who built the Great Wall of China, or who started building the Great Wall of China.
Mm.
And
Was it the
China
I
Tartarians?
get,
did
that's
it.
interesting.
think
I
so.
wonder. They were like, we need trust you, me. Like they come from the future. They're like time travelers. You're gonna need this wall.
It was like
Start
it was
building
the other
and
way
start
around.
building
A
it.
lot of people say China
pull it
built
up.
the wall to keep the hordes out, but I think it was
The way that it was built, like supposedly,
it's aiming
like, wait a
towards
second.
China. Like the defensive part is towards China. So people built, which is like, if you think about it, it's actually kind of smart.
Let me see.
What do
Now
you
they're
mean?
just spreading everywhere, dude. China's just taking over everybody, but they're doing it in like it's kind of funny. A lot of
All that
people like
stuff.
they're doing it in a way where it's like, I'll pay for all your infrastructure with 50% interest
Yeah.
if you can't pay it back within a certain amount of time, and then they basically make it almost impossible for you to earn the money to pay it back. And
But
then,
it's too good of a deal
and you-
initially.
and then you default on your debt, and then they take your country over.
Damn.
It's pretty fucked up.
They've got their claws in Mexico, so let's keep an eye on that.
I think if anybody was like, like demons and angels kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
I think the demons are in the government, dude. Like all governments of the world.
Yeah. Do you think they
Well, yeah.
started off that way though, or was it like, hey, did you know?
Yes, I think it did. They just didn't know how to manipulate the system to get their way. You know what I'm saying?
It definitely makes sense.
Like they
though,
had to
right?
learn
Because
along the way.
The founding fathers, hey, like they built the whole strategy on not letting the government be
Mhm.
as controlling, and now
The government's
Now
disassembling that.
or they're trying to make it as controlling as possible.
Yeah.
It's trying to be as most government.
It's the gray line area. Like, well, it doesn't really say that.
it's like that one
But
shooting.
you can't use
the,
that.
The shooting where the dude had a handgun, killed a few people, and then like the first thing they say, we need to ban assault weapons. It's like, didn't he use a handgun? I don't know.
And it's funny the term assault too. It's like, can you buy that over there? Because it's all within the wording too, and the way that they like say it, and because Andrew Tate makes the thing where the guy was like talking about he just made the comment where he's like, plus he's like, why'd you choose Romania? He's like, it was a great country, and I'm not gonna live in a country that doesn't let me have guns. And the guy's like, oh, we need to get rid of guns here, and he's like, dude, he's like, guns protect people. He's like, search any other country and type in anything else, guns, murders. He's like, type stabbing UK, and he puts it. And there was more stabbings in the UK than there is shootings in America. And so it's like, okay, well, and then do the doubles for now. Look at United States for stabbings, and it's like, okay, dude. So it's like,
Except
Dude.
for
so it's kind of funny because their shit's like,
the thing.
it's the same thing. It's like, well, there's almost like a power void that gets filled in there where someone also like, well, the
Missing
meme they post to
stats.
that is like, oh, look, there's one too. Someone the eloquent liberal posts like, I moved to Montana and everybody's open carrying. She's like, I'm surprised there isn't a mass shooting every day. It's like every motherfucker there's got a gun, you know.
Every
It's
motherfucker's
and it's open up and it shows
As soon
they're
as
all
one person just like
dude. Everyone's at the
hugs
bar. The
clip,
picture, they're all hanging
like,
out at the
well.
bar, you know, bullshitting. One guy's like playing darts and shit, you know. And it's like, dude, normal life, like, dude. Especially when you understand it, especially
you definitely got to get
you-
used to it if you're not around it.
When you know, it's like knowledge is power with any kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
And it's especially with my work, I'll go into places all the time and people are like, man, I don't know what's going on. And it's just like, seems to be little buttons or little flips or just tying in little tiny things. That's it. Dude, you make it
Simple.
sound that hard, but how long were you looking at this? Oh, for months, you know? And it's like, dude,
Remember
it's just because you happen to know, you know?
last podcast I pulled up that one website where he shows you the true size of the world or whatever.
Oh, okay, yeah. I
So,
thought you were
like-
going to show up the other true size one.
Yeah, that
I
one
was like, damn, dude. Yeah.
Well, a lot of people think like let's just say for instance, the United Kingdom, right? Like everything. In their mind, compare it to the U.S. Like what in your mind right now, whoever's listening, compare those two countries. How big do you think the United Kingdom is compared to the U.S.?
Especially if you haven't traveled,
Like
huh?
it's smaller than most states.
Yeah, it can fit in Utah.
Yeah.
Is what we
What we
equated it
found. Yeah,
last
what
time.
we found out. And then it's like then you think of Europe. A lot of European countries are smaller than U.S. states.
Yeah.
So it's like if you were to put the U.S. there, and then people are like, oh, there's so many shootings in the U.S. It's like, but the U.S. is literally bigger than Europe,
That's true.
and then our population density in those areas is probably
So if
bigger
you
than
broke
Europe.
up each state into countries and started doing stats
It's
like
really
that,
real. In reality, it's 50 countries
Mhm.
that make up the U.S. Like if you think Alaska's fucking huge. There's not a lot of people in Alaska, but that's huge. It's a fucking country.
Then you think about like the countries where like that shit's happening, like where there's war torn countries going on. Okay, are they keeping track of like the deaths like by guns
No.
and stuff like that? You know, come on, like they're like
Like in the Middle East or something.
yeah or something. They're like, damn, these people are dying. Yeah,
And I heard the school shooting statistics are inflated too, with like drive-by shootings, like at nighttime.
Oh,
If
yeah.
it's in like anywhere around that, you know, they count it as a school shooting and shit.
oh okay. I was
If
wondering.
it's within a school district or some shit,
Something weird.
or within like a 20 mile an
You can
hour
look it
school
up.
zone or whatever.
Well, yeah, that's the worst part about that kind of crap. And then the one thing I was gonna like,
Manipulation is what it is, dude.
and then well, that's the thing too is
Manipulation of data.
I always like talk about because I kind of bring it back to the FTX thing. I always talk about like, oh, it's the World Economic Forum. Like these people are working together with this shit. That's why I think it's kind of weird. It's like even when you look at like
Lizard
this one,
people.
yeah, one of they're like they wanted to work hand in hand. So it was World Economic Forum worked with FTX. They're like, we want to start a new global cryptocurrency, and all of a sudden you go to it, it's like goes off, you know, those kind of things because like they do it for as long and then they almost hope there's a short term memory because really there is.
Yeah.
Because
There
in a
is,
week there's
and
going to
they do.
be some kind of they either try and it'll bleed or leads kind of thing. They send it with something else because there's like a short little list I have right here of things that people were talking about that they're not talking about anymore. That you're like, oh, that's kind of
That
interesting.
happens all the time, dude.
Yeah, that it kind of runs
JFK.
through. So like the Paul Pelosi story, that
South
thing kind
Pole.
of went down. The FTX thing. I guess there was
Aliens.
some guy got assassinated, Shinzo whatever. But then those guys,
Shinzo Abe.
some FBI people that tried to kidnap Whitmer, that they had trials and they were acquitted and all kinds of stuff. They had
What?
found some stuff on the Hunter Biden laptop, so now like they're indicting the people on that or whatever. And then some journalists got murdered. all that
Wait,
kinda
I
stuff.
thought we couldn't find the laptop.
Is that what it was? It was
Yeah,
like
supposedly it was gone.
oh, magically it's gone now. It's like this shit's gone. But it's kind of funny because like people are like, you'll see them talk like, oh, it's just a laptop, you know, I don't care what's on there. And then you'll see how Clarence Thomas's wife apparently was texting her people or whatever about the election. She's like, yeah, I think they need to do a recount or something. And they're like, we need to see her full text messages because she's talking about election fraud, all this kind of, we need to like see that what's on, it's what's more important, all that kind of stuff. And it's so funny. It's such a tomato.
Her text messages are going to be like government documents where it's going to be a bunch of black lines. It's like redacted, 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 redacted.
It's funny, or they can be like, oh, why don't you do Hillary's? It's funny, oh, her emails. It's like, okay, yeah, do her emails. It's like, oh, wait, like, how did we get all the Pizzagate, all that kind of thing that came along with it? It was because she put them out on open forums and everybody got a hold of them. So it's like, dude, they're all out there. At least when they're like, you release these things. At least their shit's still hidden, dude. They didn't really break that much protocol. Because there's some shit that especially with the government.
So what do you
in-
believe? What do you believe is going on?
Yeah.
Do you think there's a conspiracy to like do things, like to control people? Do you think there's like a
think it's all
black
about
ops
the
organization
Benjamins.
doing stuff behind the curtain that they're trying to do world domination? Do you think it's a new world order trying to form itself and become, enslave humanity? What do you think's going on?
Yeah, I think that there's like this new world order kind of thing where there are the richest, like say you take the 10 richest people together, maybe the 20 richest people, and they all start getting their agendas that they kind of want to do. And they can keep themselves in the position of making money by keeping this group of people, which is the majority of people, even the majority of the 1%ers, because I think it's the 1% of the 1%ers that are the actual kind of thing. And they just keep this weird balance where it's left versus right. Like right now, all of a sudden now it's switched to Republicans are taking the House and all this kind of stuff. And they're like, oh, they're going to do this. It's just going to be like in the 90s. It's going to be a different thing. And we're going to be like, we're winning until you get sick of them. And they're like, we've had enough. We're going Democrat. Where we feel like we're in control, but really we're not because we're getting force-fed this kind of bullshit. Whereas it's kind of like we were reading through these stories where you don't see the main stories. You kind of see the same stories that get you fighting a lot. Like,
Yeah.
I remember us talking about when we went camping and we were looking through my grandpa's old Playboys. He got Playboys from the 60s.
No, we didn't.
And he's like, what? Not us. They, in there, they're talking about abortion, gun control, like all that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, that's what I was
It's the
thinking
same
too.
shit,
It's like, what
but they
what
just
happened
kinda
in
keep us
1922?
Feeding it.
What was going on in 1922?
22?
Yeah.
There was
Nothing.
some wars.
Right after the World War One, right? Which was
baby boomers.
1914, I think, wasn't it?
The First World War?
I think it was 1919.
The First World War was around there or
1917,
something? Because
something
then
like
the
that.
second one was what, 1945,
And then
1946?
yeah, well, 1930 something when it started because
Oh, yeah,
U.S.
'cause
wasn't
we were
involved.
we were in it for a while.
But it had a build-up, right? 1922 must have been around the time that Hitler started his
Yeah, I think the Nazis did the whole time.
congressional push for supreme leader or whatever the fuck
Yeah.
it's called.
And then he ends up like,
1918, yeah. It started in July 28th, 1914, and it ended in 1918.
because it does get to be, I get tired of saying like they or them, all this kind of stuff. Everyone's like, oh, here it goes, and it's not necessarily that. I just feel like if you take look during maybe the pandemic, and then you take the 10 richest people in the world, and let's say that there was a opportunity for this to happen, and then this handful of people took this. So Jeff Bezos allegedly owned, well, let's say if I was allegedly him, if it was me allegedly, and you own this company, and then you also own the Washington Post, and so you also own this news agencies and all these places, and then you start posting all this stuff about you need to stay inside, you need to be doing this stuff. What the heck are you doing? Why are you doing this? Stay inside, be doing this kind of stuff. All along, you have links to your Amazon page like, hey, is there this? Hey, there this. Yeah, what do I need to go out? I'll buy that on Amazon. You're staying in, you're buying this, I got this, all this kind of stuff. And it kind of is this loop because you're an ultimate businessman. You're offering
Yeah, but
a
what if
service.
he was honestly trying to just help?
It is like, I think about it like,
He's like,
we
oh,
use
this is what they're saying, so this is what I'm gonna put
well,
out.
I like Amazon. We use the affiliate links. We use the merch. So check them out. We do so I even buy from there. It's super convenient and nice. But there's a handful of people that keep getting richer that kind of stick to that. You hear the same people, Rockefellers, Rothschilds, all that kind of stuff. Even though it sounds dumb saying the same thing, but it's these weird families that continue to stay wealthy, they send general wealth through each other, and it's a wealth that we can't even like fathom, kind of thing, where even celebrities can't even fathom.
I see it as like, imagine if you calculated how much water you could drink in your lifetime, and you were to put it into like a Olympic-sized swimming pool, right? Like that, if you were to just have that one swimming pool and you were to drink as much water as you could possibly drink out of that swimming pool, and it would last you your whole life. Now we took that swimming pool and we made it the size of a Great Lake, and we gave that to you. And then we were like, that's your drinking water for your life. I feel like that's what their wealth is the equivalent of. Like they have so much money that they would not be able to spend it all by the end of their lives.
Yeah.
But they're like, I need more water in there, and I need to figure out a way to take it from everybody else.
Yeah, like how and the way that I think even too is like, that's a good analogy with that, because it also shows their reach in there too, is because really with the more money you have, the more ability you can do. Like say you, I have so much money and I'm selling something I aim to sell locally. So my reach would be my local little spread. Well, say you're a massive businessman where you're worldwide, international, #1 Coca-Cola, Johnson Johnson worldwide, let's say DuPont, type of
Don't you
oil.
think when you come up with
your
something
customers
like
are
that, though,
everybody just by default because you're like, well,
if
I'm
you
doing
come up with something like
but
that, you should get
that.
paid for something like that. No,
Most definitely,
like
yeah.
McDonald's. What did he do different? He fucking simplified it.
Yeah.
Simplified it to where he can just be like, hey, these are the rules. Just follow this.
Sure,
and
you
it's
get
kosher.
paid. Okay, great. Now, what's your plan now? Is to make
keep
more
getting more
money
money.
so that way
Worldwide.
you could,
Pitbull, baby.
so you can fund, mercenaries in the Philippines. Like, what's the
Eventually, dude,
reasoning
once
for
you
it?
get there, dude.
Well, that's even with, I think that's why it's not as complicated as it. Sometimes that's why I'll be thinking is like, man, is it this, that? What are they after? So like even just that. So like DuPont and Coca-Cola, like, hey, they're here. We're trying to provide a service. Everybody wants this shit. So like they're trying to reach that shit worldwide, and they're taking over global. Where they want to be in your ear, they want to be the #1 soda. They are spending money. Let's say on, let's do a little bit of maybe if we do some hypnotizing stuff behind them, we'll make them want to buy a cola or whatever. Let's say, and it just so happens to go along. Or let's say like with signs where one guy's like, I've been around long enough to know that when there's some kind of chaos, or what do you say, when there's some kind of pandemic, not a pandemic, but some kind of panic going on, they're selling something. And he's like, right now I've seen 12 soda commercials. He's like, they're trying to sell soda with this one. And he's like talking about each one. And, maybe there is a little bit of that just by like
What about the
their own
smart
dumb
guy?
luck.
Have you guys seen the smart guy who travels to places because it's a lot cheaper right after something really horrific happens?
Oh yeah, and he went to freaking where the fuck, Afghanistan, right?
He's called the smart guy?
Yeah, he like just does like, yeah.
He's not very smart. If that's the guy I'm talking
Well,
thinking
because he like gets things for hella cheap. He's like, remember that one time when the 2 American missionaries or whatever were riding their bikes and they went through that one place, they got fucking killed.
Damn.
He's like, everything was on sale, so the hotel prices were cheap. And he's like, and the best part of it is that they have high security the whole time.
Oh, because now they're trying to compensate for it and everything. Yeah.
Well, it's too little too late, right? So he
It's
just
funny
goes
how
there
that
and
works.
enjoys his time.
Yeah, I don't think you should have security, dude. Honestly, I think we should all just be, all of us should be wearing like satin white, walking around,
You
just
gotta have-
pure bliss, green grass.
And you gotta have security like Elon Musk security, where they're like, "Oh, he's finally." They were showing like him about to leave Twitter headquarters. They're like, all of a sudden, this black truck pulls out. It's like, and they're like, "Oh, they're the security team. He's actually leaving. They're leaving Twitter." Everyone's like, all the freaking journalists all get ready to go get their cameras out, and the freaking security team's like, pulls their truck up and blocks them all. And then freaking Elon Musk Tesla's like drives off, and they're like, "Hey!" Because they couldn't take any pictures because they're blocking them all. And he's like, the 2 trucks take off and stuff because they're like blocking them all. They're just going down the road. I was like, "Oh, that's funny, dude." He's like trolling them even in life, dude. He's like, "I don't want you to do any really security stuff. I just want you to troll these people. Like, say no more."
That'd be so cool, dude, to be his bodyguard.
Because, dude, I was looking at that Twitter thing. Did you see their demand, the hour demand? How they were like, it's unreasonable demands and all that kind of stuff. Where he was like, he sent him a link and they said it was unreasonable. So like that's why all these people were also resigning and all that. He said, "I'm not going to take anybody that doesn't believe in the new vision of what we're doing. You have to click on this link if you want to do that." And he's like, "I require people to actually show up for 40 hours. They're like, "Fuck that. 40-hour work week, dude." That's like,
Damn.
people at grocery stores are like, "What?" Like, fuck, I got to
know.
work fucking 50, dude.
I'm doing 80
and-
hours a week, dude.
Yeah, dude. And then they're over here
Easy.
like, "What?" And then it's fucking wild. And then
That's so nuts, dude.
then you also too you see them. Granted, there probably will be a little bit of weird hiccuping, but I think they're running on 150 employees, down from like 1,000. They fired 3,900. Like, what the fuck
Damn.
were the other ones doing, dude? Like they had. Have you seen the videos of them? The TikTok employees showing them, like the one was showing her like day when she'd go through. She goes down to
I
like the
think
gourmet
that had to
kitchen.
be fake, dude.
Dude,
There's no way that was real.
Well, it's so
No
crazy.
way that was
You
real,
just
dude.
you don't think that is, but it is.
Halfway through,
I
she's
hope
like,
not,
"I gotta
dude.
go
That
get."
was
Yeah, she would be
embarrassing.
like, barely do any work. "I'm gonna need to go get a little wine on tap and shit." Like, so she'd like go down to get a little wine on tap in between like working, and she's like, "A little cornhole for a little stress reliever." I'm like, what the fuck?
There's people like that, dude.
Because that's
that
how
are not
Google
doing
is,
shit.
right?
Probably.
Like all the shit I've seen on Google, it's like a friendly, fun time.
There's a lot of people like that.
I think that shit's good. I think there's
No,
good for
it's not
team
good.
building
No.
outside of the working thing. I think
You want
when
to know
you're-
what team
when you've
building
done
is,
the
dude?
thing,
Yeah,
and then
it's
there's the
Breaching and
reward.
clearing rooms, dude.
Done in the trenches. Huh?
That's breach and clear, flashbang, clear a room, get your corners. That's team building.
See that
Not fucking cornhole and wine on tap and
But afterwards, though, right? Not like during the day. It's like maybe say after the quarter's done, you did a good job, and then you reward them with something. Because that's like some weird rewarding
pizza
thing. They
party
can have that
raise.
every day, you know, like wine on tap every day, or where they can go get a gourmet, you know, coffee or whatever, which is nice, all that kind of stuff. But it just mind blowing, dude. I like coffee, but I can imagine just setting up and then turning on a little coffee maker or something. I imagine
How long would
somebody
it
else
take
from
you before you start coasting?
start doing that.
A
2
year
days.
ago. A year ago, dude. Brick just got hired on. Admiral, you just got hired on too. Twitter. How long before you're just like, fuck it?
If you're
never, dude. Nope.
Yeah, like have you seen the Babylon Bees version of it? So they just barely got reinstated too. So they're posting their skits that they had of Twitter employees getting hired on at another workplace. So the guy's like, "Hey, welcome to work. Are you ready?" And she, do not say that, please. And he's like, "What?" And she's like, "At my other place, we've come to talk to that. That is a hostile word." And she's like, he's like, "What is that word you use? The W word?" He's like, "Work." And she's like, "We don't do that," and stuff like that. And so they're like going through the thing, and he's like, "Yeah, we have like the full whatever 40 hours, all that kind of stuff." And she's like, "So what exactly did you do for like tasks?" And she's like, "Well, I did this kind of thing. I was a monitor for content or whatever. So if someone posted content that wasn't supposed to be on there, I'd have to get rid of it." And so he's like, "What would happen?" And so she's like, I'd be in the middle of playing a game or whatever she said, playing ping pong or some stuff like that. Pulls up my phone and it tells me that this nasty person had made a nasty tweet. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" And he's like, "Oh, then that's when you have to go to your computer and do work." She's like, "No, I hit the button right there, banned, get him out of there." She's like, "And I do it in there." She's like, "Most of us did most of our work off our phone anyways."
Wow.
And he's like, "Oh, okay," because like they're just making a skit off of what the people had said. But it's funny when you put it into like someone actually saying it, because you're like, imagine it, like, dude, if you're doing it on your phone, imagine a notification pops up just like you would. Someone sends you a mean tweet. Oh, ouchie.
This is how I see it. Like
And
imagine
then you go in there and interact.
Imagine
You're
like a building that's been like spliced in half, right? And you're starting at the top, and it's like a bunch of office workers, and they're all just enjoying life and partying and blowing hookers and shit, right? And then like as you're going down,
blowing
and
hookers or blow and
blow and hookers,
okay.
or blowing and hookers,
blowing a hooker at the same time.
Whatever
yeah.
you like.
Whatever you're into.
So like the camera's panning down, right? And as you're going down through the floors, there's more employees, and they're all doing the same thing, and the walls are all like white and shit and like fancy. And then those are all the people like at Twitter, right? And then finally there's like this 12 inches of concrete that you start going through, and you get to the very bottom. It's kind of dark. The lights are they're not bright anymore. They're like yellow kind of lights, and it's kind of dark and yellow down there. And that's where all your like maintenance workers are, the hard laborers that are actually working.
Refill the coffee.
The ones that are actually doing all the work. And then you go up to the top and you ask them, "Hey, how tough was your day?" Because even in my like line of work where I work, there's people that are literally 15 feet away from me that I'm like, "What'd you do today?" And they're like, "Well, I was sitting here. It was so stressful, so stressful.
Lady was complaining.
This lady complained all day." And I'm like, "So you dealt with one person complaining all day? Did you do any physical work?" "Well, I had to type." No. "Did you do any physical work?"
Fingers strained.
"Well, we had to type up their name on a computer database. That was all in there because their driver's license." And I'm just like, "What'd you do for the rest of the day? The other 7.5 hours that you were here?"
They say you burn more calories thinking
Yeah.
anyways.
And I'm just,
Using
and
my mind.
it blows my mind because you asked, do those people actually do that? I work with people who do that. And it blows my mind because they're like, "Man, today was a stressful day."
Yeah.
And for 6 hours, I didn't do anything because there's the people that are below that 24 inches of concrete that are doing all the work for the company that's getting the gears moving. Where those other people are just like, "I was here for 5 hours. Could you believe that?" It's like, "Yeah, I moved a mountain. I moved a mountain while you were sitting there." You know what I mean? Like making money to pay for
mound. All right.
No, it was a mountain,
Not a mountain.
dude. Literally,
It was huge.
it was huge.
Yeah.
It was the biggest mountain I've ever seen. The best. It was the densest.
Welcome back, Donald Trump, to Twitter.
Yeah.
I know that's kind of
We
wild
haven't
too.
found that out yet. He's back.
It was off a pole and everything.
Like I don't support anybody. at all.
Neither
Absolutely
do I,
nobody.
but that's.
But I think
that's
he should be there.
glorious, especially the way Elon Musk did it. He put a poll on Twitter and he said, "Should he reinstate his account? Yes or no?" And if the people decide that they want him to, then he will.
Mm-hmm.
And
Did you
it was
see-
actually pretty close, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was like
It was
54 to
like
something like that.
Yeah, it was like pretty close. And then he even reinstated Kathy Griffin, who's like was holding pictures of like Trump's head when it was like cut off in blood and stuff. Like we need to kill the president, all that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And he put her account back in too. It's like,
Did you see the
you know,
memes
he's
of it?
bringing everybody back.
Where it's like people on Twitter right now, and it's like a bunch of German tanks with a bunch of Nazis on it, like driving down the street. It was so funny. I was like, oh my God, dude.
Oh, God.
Oh, people are fucking wild, dude.
It is kind of funny, dude, because it's so right now. It's supposedly they have the highest usage as well right now. Like they're getting way more people using Twitter, and it's so funny. There's so many people, especially all the left-leaning types on there. All of them are like, "Oh, rip Twitter!" Hashtag rip Twitter. There's this thing, rip Twitter. Everyone's putting that on there.
They're all bots, dude.
They're all doing it on Twitter. It's
Russian
funny. I'm
bots.
like,
It's all bots.
which is funny how everyone does it. This site's dead, and they're all on the dead site. I'm like, oh, maybe. I mean, I could see.
I
them
thought
if they're-
Twitter was dead like 3 years ago.
Yeah, dude. I remember
Yeah.
it was dead way long time ago. That's why I was getting. You can get wild videos, dude. That's why I'm like, they were not monitoring content, dude. I would be watching like live leak style videos, dude. I'd be like getting videos, crazy videos.
I thought
from
it was
them
allowed.
stuff. It's allowed, but certain things like well, I think there is pornography and things like that are allowed, so it is goes
I
down to
wouldn't
like
know.
that.
There's
But
definitely
I think like
pornography on there.
death and certain things aren't. I'm not sure though, but
Pretty sure that is allowed.
on there,
Yeah, there's like so many videos, dude.
that's why I kind of like Twitter's. You can get whatever you like. So if someone like something crazy happens, you can like pull it up. You're like, holy crap! So
That's why I like Reddit for.
and then that's kind of like what it would be. How
'Cause I feel like
how it
Reddit's
used
a free
to be.
internet. Well, not
That's how Reddit was.
Yeah, that's
It
how it
was.
used to be. Yeah,
It's pretty moderated, and you've kind of got to get around word usage
Yeah.
to like not get banned.
and all the fake karma and all the things. Everyone's like kissing each other's asses on it and stuff, like wanting to be like the best points, like trying to say get in there with their zingers or whatever, and then
That's funny shit, though. Like
Some
if
of
somebody,
them
it's
are.
like
yeah.
the same people though, and it's like
What do you mean? Same people getting the zingers, or
kind of we're like
yeah,
we're
they're
like the same type
comedians.
in there, but it leans one. It feels like it leans to one side to me anyway.
I feel like it leans to the memes because the
Yeah.
memes are. I feel like memes are universal unless you've really got to stick up your ass. Like
Yeah.
if you've got a stick that'll take me 10 years to like pull it out, like you're probably not gonna laugh at the memes.
There. I feel like they're don't you feel like more left leaning over I feel like Reddit where they don't have where 4chan's like making a comeback now, because have you been on 4chan? Do you get
No.
on 4chan at all anymore?
I've never gotten on 4chan, not gonna lie.
Where it's not as crazy, but it's still kind of like it's kind of fun. It's kind of like what Reddit used to be, whereas Reddit's now is like kind of like softened down a little bit where it's like we kind of talked about it last time where they stay away from like the naughty words kind of thing, or like even I have a buddy, it's funny, he's like he wants to come on the podcast, you know, a lot of people want to, but he's like, dude, I always tell him about all this agendas, you know, they got these new agendas. He's like, dude, I literally got messed with today, and he's like, I didn't mean to. He's like, I went in and he went to go send some packages, and then something got messed up on the delivery, so he went back in to go tell him, and he was like, hey, and he went back into the post office, and he's like, my order got messed up, and he's like, and like blah blah blah, who was working with, and he's like, she was working with me, and he's like, it was a big blue haired lady, and he's like, it was her, and then the girl's like, what'd you say to me? And he's like, it was her, and then he's like, then the lady's like, why are you accusing me of doing all this kind of stuff, blah, blah. And she's like, I don't like the way you're saying that kind of stuff. And he's like, but you did help me, and all this stuff. He's like, all this thing starts yelling, kind of getting back
He's
with
like, I
him.
just had to yell, dude. I can't.
No,
can't
she was
talk
like
normal."
she was like kind of getting at him or whatever. And then he's like, and then the girl was like, you don't need to be saying that. She's like, and then you don't even know the correct terminology to be referring to her and all that stuff.
Pronouns.
Yeah, and so it was kind of getting toward that kind of thing. And he's like, what? Like it was supposed to be like they, them.
Yeah.
It's like, sorry, I guess, or whatever.
I think we need to come up with a universal word for everybody.
But but then they had to like,
Fuck face.
yeah, in
Everybody's
there.
a fuck face, dude.
I like that.
But it was crazy because it was like, at what point does any of that have to do with any of them? Like, fuck off all of you, dude. It's like, hey, this is my package is a thing that needs to go to the person, and that's what we're here for. And why is anybody in here getting upset? You know, it's like, dude, what the fuck? But like now we've come to like these weird things where it's like not necessarily we need to be robots, but it's
Unit
almost like
467
Yeah,
helped
it's
me
like-
with my package.
there's a little
We
bit
all
of
get
craftsmanship
numbers.
and
Yeah.
like kind of getting shit done, like taking care of the task and stuff like that. Like, where they're like, you can't do the job, and it's like, shut up and watch me kind of stuff. Instead, dude, everybody's kind of wants to be like, I'm special kind of stuff now. Where I think it's starting to mess with it, and especially with a lot of the internet, because whatever becomes like to become a good thing, it kind of slowly gets absorbed with, unfortunately, it seems like that woke culture, if that's the word for it, but it's kind of where it comes in and a handful of people that don't like certain ways of how certain things are done, and they want it kind of like nerfed to that situation, whether it's a gameplay or whatever.
I
But
think we should all start referring to each other as our driver's license numbers.
it's like 671-214. Don't say yours.
Oh man.
You're looking flipping through
I
it. Don't
was
say it
flipping
out.
through
Don't
it.
say it.
I know. I want to say it. Damn it,
He's
dude.
like,
69, 69,
yeah.
69.
It's a perfect number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Dude,
7, 8,
no,
9.
mine's good. 69, 420, baby, dude.
Nice, dude.
69 420 baby dude.
Dude, that's gonna be my dude.
Because with all that stuff too, a lot of people might be like, "Oh, you're looking at," which it might be a lot of people looking into it more, but it's also too people. I think people want to have that little badge or a little something kind of
That's
stuff.
why I'm freaking very hesitant on calling people her and him. Like if I go into Home Depot, I'd be like, "That employee helped me." That's what I do. Like that's the employee that helped me.
That's them there.
That's
In
the
there.
employee because you can't. They're like, I'm not a them there.
What's
Like, you're
really
just-
weird,
I'm a
Your employee. I'm not their
was
employee.
whiz.
Nobody's property.
because to me, I don't even like give a shit. Like if they're gonna be like, "Hey, you're cool, thanks. I don't know you. I don't give a fuck."
Just call
You know?
me your.
Or so like when they'd be like, "Oh, that person I don't know about said something mean." It's like, yeah, who gives a fuck? Like their person, fuck off.
There
But
has to be
there's
yeah,
like,
a little bit of like
there's-
it's such a new thing that you should, if I was a they them, I'd be like, okay, yeah, you fucked it up. This is what it is. It's okay. Let's all move on. You don't have to take it to that level, right?
I just turn it
Because
back
I feel
on
like
them.
I feel like it'd be not more acceptable, but more. I don't know. Like people would accept it more, right? It's like, oh, that person was a nice person.
yeah.
And
it should be the way I think of everything. It should be not seen as like a negative if it's wrong. Like, oh, that was wrong. Where it should only be it had nothing, and then it's seen as like a positive. So like, say your good friends like, yo, no, they don't like that, whatever, and you're like, fuck, good thing you like, thanks, dude, for at least you remembering that shit.
Yeah.
Like that's what mattered, and it kind of like goes that way. Whereas when it's somebody else like, hey, yeah, hey you. Lady, are you guys ready or what? Now you got double misgendered. You guys, lady. Hey, lady, you guys ready or what?
I call everybody dude already, so
Dude,
it's
me
like,
too. And then then exactly, you should be like, no, I don't give a shit because it means nothing. Instead of it
I
being
call
like,
people
what?
peasants.
It's weird. You take
Hey,
those as like a
peasant.
negative.
you there.
You should start doing that. Be like, Neil or whatever. Like, this floor's dirty. Give me your coat. They like toss the fucking coat on the ground like for a puddle or something like that.
Dude, imagine if you walked into that, what was it, like a FedEx or whatever office, and he's like, that peasant over there helped me. I'm like, excuse me?
You have to more insult him. That freaking, what would you
Dirty
say?
peasant.
That that
Filthy.
What would they even say? That Celtic blue-head peasant. Fucking,
Oh man.
like, huh? You wish you had a shiny shield like me, but you're a scallywag from the north or whatever. 'cause,
Dude,
like,
you're mixing so many things in there.
yeah.
Celts, scallywags from the north.
That's the
I
history
think
you get
Celts
here,
are from
dude.
the east.
Yeah,
Scallywags are pirates,
Yeah.
right?
And that's
Something
why-
like that.
dude. And that's why we don't like them. It's like,
Bricks is-
"Brr," they like,
That way, I like to cluster bomb everything, dude.
Yeah.
That way they can't get me for one thing.
What do you identify as?
yeah.
Your Highness.
The trick is to
and
piss off
the
multiple
king.
groups. Yeah, you get them all.
I'm a baron. I identify as a baron, an oil baron.
Dude, that would be funny. Like come all the way in. You have a guy that follows you with the little flute or whatever.
No, he goes in
Yeah,
before
he
me.
Yeah. It's like, that would be friggin'
His
funny.
Royal Highness from the east, from the west. It's like,
You're just,
where's
like,
that
walking by,
from?
you just have this little thing, you're like putting it on people's chest, like move. As you're like walking in, like fucking. I'm like, I bet you no
Make
one
way.
would do shit, dude. They'd be like,
No.
"What the fuck?"
If you have enough people with you.
It
A
should
carpet roller.
Dude, they'd be like the
fanfare,
fucking
dude.
Aladdin. Make way.
be, yeah, fuck yeah.
They're
Everyone
fucking
dancing.
unrolling the carpet the whole time.
There's a
There's
monkey
people
there. Why is there a monkey there? We
There'd
don't
be
know.
people in front of you unrolling a carpet while people behind you are rolling a carpet. But there's like
How'd it
two
work?
squads. So like one squad would be unrolling it, and as soon as they run out, another squad would roll up. And they would start unrolling theirs, and the guys behind you rolls theirs up.
Okay,
So
okay.
you're constantly
So
rocking
just
on
like
red carpet. Yep.
That'd be funny.
Okay.
Making if they just had
Get it.
even if they had like little sheets, there's like
Yep.
moving it like that.
That'd be funny.
Dude,
You're
it's
like,
like
Or they're
living
like
hiking.
Spider-Man and they just leave it.
Yeah, there's just
It's
red
done,
carpets
yeah,
fucking
everywhere.
everywhere.
Throughout the whole city.
Admir's whole day.
It's like he went hiking once, like through the mountains.
Yeah, people that go to the
This is
earlier ones,
carpet
it's like
here.
a papery style. You've upgraded later on. It's like a velvet. You're like, look at his old ones that are still
Oh,
here,
I can
dude.
see
They're
when
just
he was a
paper
prince.
in there. Dude, that's
This
like
is
living
right when he became a king.
That's
These
like
were
living life
nine-
in Gary's mod, dude. You're just living the simulation. You're like, you know what, dude? I'm gonna fucking change shit up. I'm gonna sire, and you start having people coming in, moving shit, dude. You could even like if you had like 30 people, say you were at a restaurant and there's nobody there, you could have them all run in and just start grabbing chairs and tables, and then like all the waiters, everyone would be like, hey, what, and they just pull everything out except for one table and chair, and you walk in, sit down, and you're like, we'll have
Joker
everything
outfit.
on the menu
What is
and
this,
shit.
Batman?
Yeah, dude, fucking. Everyone would be like, what? Especially if you had like a bag of money or a briefcase of money. You just fool them, dude. You put like a piece of cardboard like that, and then the money on top, one layer of money, so it looks like thick layers in the suitcase, but it's just one layer. You're like,
Why don't you just get
$600,
copy
$600.
Why don't you get copy money, which is like the movie theater money, and just have the top blade, the top bill,
Yeah,
the real one, so it looks like a shitload of bills, but it's just really like
It's like
$300.
you're taking like a wad of cash and you put your $100 bill on top, and the rest are all ones and shit. And you're like, I'm a fucking top G, dude. Fucking
I
set it
buy
down,
you.
dude. Yeah, dude, it's all ones. but-
Italian king. Hey.
Get out of here.
Dude, yeah, that would be. You finally start upgrading and shit. I start wearing rings, dude. Fuck yeah. Dude.
And they're all the rings that you get from those quarter machines in the freaking mall.
Yeah, at
Shake
first.
Band easy.
Yeah, at first, and then people start gifting them to you. Malish.
Yeah,
Then you
start
become a
getting
Roman emperor.
cubic
Bring back
zirconium.
Rome, dude. I think that's what we need to do.
Make Rome.
Bring back the Holy Roman Empire.
Yeah, what it has a saying: "When in Rome, do as the Romans do."
Invade.
Yeah, you're like invade. Yeah.
Invade your fucking surrounding countries.
Okay, well, before
We
we,
know
get
how good that's
too crazy,
going.
and we did have a shot, dude. We didn't even take a shot for the thing. We were gonna take a shot for the people.
Simulation. You said simulation.
We did talk about the simulation.
I don't think we did.
I did a little bit. We
Okay.
can't ever leave it.
I'll trust you.
Oh.
That was water.
But yeah, shout out to all the people that are hitting us up, asking us about the podcast, all that stuff. You guys should ask about anything that you want to ask us, and then we can play it. Or even if you guys want to send in, you guys just saying it, and then we can play the audio.
Yeah.
If you want to be on the podcast,
Yeah.
dude, and get your
Do
2 bits in
something-
to see if
do
you want to get
something
your.
in front of a green screen, and we'll just put you somewhere around here.
Or it's good. At
It'll
least
be
good
funny.
practice to get the blood flowing, so that you feel what it's like. Yeah, to like take a talk. Or we could prank call them. We should prank call people. See what they answer.
Let's do it right now.
Who should we prank call?
Oliver.
My brother.
Let's do
It'll say on there. It'll say my name or
let's do Brandon.
yo, my homie Brandon.
Yo, let's go Brandon, dude. What up, bro? You know
Dude, it took me way too long to figure that one out.
what?
What the?
Let's go, Brandon.
Really?
Yeah. Because I
My friends
never,
want me
I
to
wasn't
prank call.
in the know when it like initially happened. And then like a week later, everybody's just like, let's go, Brandon. I was like, what the fuck is this? All right, cool.
I was
NASCAR
watching
guy?
the interview,
All right,
dude, as it was
cool.
going on.
When they're talking about it, and they're
Yeah.
like, yeah, because like,
It's like, fuck Joe Biden. And they're like, oh, can you hear outside? They're chanting, let's go, Brandon. I'm like,
they're like,
no,
there
they're
you go.
fucking
And
not.
yeah, everyone's
And
like,
then it
"What?"
became a meme, and I was like, I'm so glad to be here right now. Part
You're
of this.
like,
At the
You're like-
inception.
Yeah.
I was on the cusp of the wave. I was riding that wave. That was one thing I did want to talk about though, because I talked about a couple episodes, but there's some boss moves. So my brother's ears must have been burning, dude. Where I was talking about moving up, trying to be the breadwinner and stuff like that. How my brother's more qualified and smart, but he's not getting his fucking cut. Well, dude, was reading some stuff where they're like, hey man, you just got to take some shots and go for the things you
Like
want.
of liquor?
No, where they ended up, somebody left a position at his job who's kind of oversees his position that he does.
Can you be saying this shit or no?
You don't know
Maybe.
where he works.
Yeah, or yeah.
Okay.
And so
Unless you
even
Twitter, right?
even if it doesn't pan through, because it hasn't happened yet, and I hate talking about things like that haven't happened because it's
Yeah.
in the muse. But that's like, I still think that this was like the right idea. So even if it's not this thing, which if it doesn't pan out,
Yeah.
especially for everybody, if they go for something and it doesn't pan out, you're like, everything you put all your chips into and it doesn't pan out, at least you're still doing it. Because what happened is it was a thing that was overseeing his, and they're looking for someone else maybe to fill the job.
Yeah.
And he was like, why? I'll do that too. He's like, I'll just do that. And then this, because it oversees and it kind of oversteps me. And he's like, yeah, it might be a little bit more work, but he's like, I'd rather be in control of that part or whatever, where that way it's not more work for me to work around them or vice
There's not
versa.
another middleman.
And he just seen a little opportunity. He was like, fuck it, I'm going to take a shot, and it will be, of course, a bigger position, more money, all that kind of stuff. But like that, dude, I was like, dude, after he was like telling me that, I was like, fuck yeah, dude. I'm like,
You heard
way
the
to
episode,
go.
huh? And you were freaking dogging him. And
Yeah.
You said, fuck this,
Yeah, and he was
dude.
in there, dude. I
Is that
got to
why
get
his
him on
ears were
here.
burning?
So he goes,
Yeah,
he
'cause he was
kills the
like,
guy who used
"Say
to work
what?
there, dude.
Say
Now
what
he's
to
got
me."
his job.
Yeah.
Great job, Oliver. Shout out.
But even
Crush it, dude.
Yeah,
Crush
Way to
all your
crush it, dude.
enemies.
Way to crush it, dude. He's out there
If
crushing
you
it.
need a trumpet man that's like the... Well, here comes
His Royal Highness.
His Royal Highness.
Yeah, you gotta have a high pitched voice.
Yeah.
You can't be. Oh,
Yeah, you'll come out there with the fucking.
Ladies and gentlemen.
He only walks on gold. And I'll
Let's see,
put
do I
gold
have one of
coins
those?
down, and then you'd have to step on each gold coin.
You there, ugly, move to the back. Only the beautiful people up front.
Yeah, you out. Yeah. Like,
You
oh,
there.
You're
the
not
two
allowed to be
people
in the
stuck
same
in
building.
One person. A fat person.
That'd be.
Get out of here. You there, guy that looks like 3 kids in a church coat. Get the fuck out of here.
I'd probably be like, "Do you know how to cook?" He'd be like, "The chef or whatever." Like starts taking them for the jobs and things like that.
2 people that look like one.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah. Phew, man who
like-
ate smaller men.
It's like some Shrek shit, dude.
Yeah.
It's like some shit you'd see on Shrek.
Oh, that would be kind of fucking wild. But that's what I was gonna
As long
shout.
as you don't get racist, because
Yeah.
I could have easily gone,
Oh, it could have.
That's
Ooh.
I want to direct a. And you're just
That'd
gonna.
be a skit, dude. Oh my god, dude. People need to just relax. That shit's funny, dude.
Admir's gonna be. This is Admir in like fucking probably one day because Prime's really good. He'll be like looking in the mirror in his little fucking sire outfit.
Damn,
Little
that
fucking. I am a goddamn sire. Or whatever you be, Sultan or whatever the
Yeah.
hell they
Or
are.
you
but-
buy
Buy that
be a
patch of
sultan,
land.
dude.
and
Looking
fucking-
back, he's
what
like,
is it, Ireland? You buy a patch of land and you become a sir or whatever.
Yeah,
I'd buy a
you
patch of
become
land
knighted
in
or
like
whatever.
Saudi
you go,
Arabia,
dude.
dude. Because I'd like to be a fucking sultan.
Sikh or something. Or I guess.
A sultan.
Make way
He's
for
also
Prince Adi.
Oh shit.
He's like, hey, what would be your first thing for the people
An elephant,
when you became
dude.
king?
I'd
What
be
would you
awesome.
say to them?
elephant.
Everybody gets one wish.
Except for you.
Yeah. Like we wish for you.
The
to-
2 persons in one.
You don't get nothing.
Yeah.
It's like you have plenty.
Yeah.
Yo, man. Dude.
You've
He's
got
it,
plenty.
it turns into like the heavyweights movie. Admir like, I want everyone to be in shape. Yeah. They're all stashing stuff. No, I think people, dude. That's what I want to tell people to do is go for some boss moves, dude. If you see anything that you
Yeah,
want, dude, why
you have
not,
to.
dude? Fuck it. Like,
Even when you're like
now's the time.
shaking
Next-
or like all
my brother was telling me about
nervous.
that. I was like, that's smart.
Just do it.
That was smart.
We should dress up like royalty next podcast.
We
like,
are
I'll be a
Thanksgiving, we gotta
sultan.
do pilgrims and
What would you be?
Native Americans.
Would you be a king?
Me, Mire, fucking over here, dude. He'd be like, is that what they would be, or what would it be like?
I'll be the king of the north.
No. Brick would be king of the north.
Philosopher King. No,
Philosopher's Stone.
because they're the ones that united, right? Still the
You'd probably
Alchemy.
be like a bookkeeper.
He's like,
No, dude, I'll be the
bookkeeper.
fanfare guy, dude. Give me a trumpet.
Okay.
Golden, dude. I gotta.
I'd be
Yeah,
like,
as long as I get to demand things before you walk in the room, dude.
I'd be
I'm
like,
golden, dude.
Lord of the documents.
with the chest up front.
yeah. He like walks all the way. Yeah, the person's like, you can't be in here. He's just walking in there still because he hasn't like totally done it yet. She's like, wait a minute. He puts the horn right in her face. She's just like,
I'd like a guy would carry a giant book that's bigger than him, and it would be my book of people that have insulted me. so that way I
What
can
is your
always
name?
remember. The guy's like scribing it down. On the day 2022 of the Northern Moon Sun Alliance.
Dude, you might have that girl might have a book. She'd be like, get pissed, get the horn, boom, smack the horn away, fucking toss the book at you. You're like,
I'd pull my sword out.
it's like Franz Ferdinand, dude. She turns
Block
in,
the book.
But what if she's like freaking, what's that
You
one
are my
girl?
wife.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Nobody's ever stood up to me like that.
You're like, that fucking, that shit was so
Henceforth?
hot, my nipples are hard. Fucking, dude, it just turns into, dude,
It
that would be
becomes
crazy.
a romantic comedy.
All of a sudden,
Everybody out now.
yeah.
You, the one with the chest.
She just makes like a fucking tiger noise. She's like, fucking dives at him, dude. Everyone's just
it's
like,
Tigra from fucking
Like,
Oh
movie.
my god. Oh no.
is it? What is this? Are we at a
Now we're
bank?
getting in furries,
Dude,
Were we in the
it's
bank?
gotta go
dude.
somewhere, dude. We've got to add spice.
Dude, wherever we were at, if I was sitting there, if we're at the bank, I'll be like, dude, they just got a lifetime customer, dude. Like, where else do you get this?
You're in
kind
the
of
middle of
fucking-
a bank. There's security guards.
Yeah, they're just
guns
like,
are going off.
They're all stopping.
He's got a sword.
No, they'd be stopping it, dude. They'd be like, guys, like they're in love, dude. You know, like in the movies
Yeah,
and
the
stuff. They'd
security
be, like,
guys,
stopping
like-
Farts
it.
alarm, farts
Farts
alarm,
alarm.
Farts alarm.
alarm, dude. It's going off in here.
Dude, the other guy would be like, what was that, dude? Fire alarm, dude. The guy fucking runs in there, sees everybody in
There's
there.
just a
Oh my God.
firefighter stripping.
Boom, 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 boom. Start shooting people on the street, dude, or laying on the ground. Like, what is going on?
It's water bullets.
Oh, dude.
Die, fire.
Yeah, they take him out. They're like, that's a new technology. He discovered how to use water propulsion.
Dude, speaking about new technology, did you see that?
Take him
What
out,
are you
dude.
talking
Yeah, yeah,
about?
no.
Did you see
Wait,
that?
are you trying to tell me there's new tech? You better be careful, dude.
Or those water blaster guns.
No, did you see that technology
Oh, yeah,
that
they
they
shoot
come
the
up
little jelly ball.
for cars suspension? That every time your car, like as your car's bouncing on the road, it like charges your battery.
What?
Yeah,
Like
so
fucking,
it-
so
it-
low riding's the thing.
No,
dude.
it's like so you know how like when you're driving your car's constantly like bouncing
Yeah,
up and
yeah.
down. Yeah, so it's this
Not mine, dude.
It's
I'm
this
like
technology that they
fucking
install in your cars, and usually it's for Teslas or semis. But as you're driving and your car's bouncing up and down, it actuates these two motors and they create power for your car.
That
So
is
your car
wasted
charges.
energy, huh?
Yeah, so your car charges itself as it's driving. It's like a game changer. It was I just seen it the other day on the internet, but they basically they can install it in your Teslas or it's
Dude.
made for Teslas and for semi trucks. So like semi trucks
man.
can charge a battery, so that way when they stop at night, they have a full battery that they can like watch TV or run a microwave or
Trailer's
whatever.
rocking.
Yeah,
Don't come and
You'll be cooking.
I was
a
just gonna
popcorn.
say that because I was like, what happens when a fucking Tesla runs out of juice? You're driving out in the middle of nowhere, you run out of gas, you run and go get gas, you put it in a gas tank, you fill up your car, you're good to go. Battery
It's
runs
not
out.
that easy,
What
dude.
happens when your Tesla runs out? You're
You
screwed.
and your girlfriend have to start making power.
That's what you say, dude. She's like, we're stranded out here, and you're like, there's only one way we can get this thing started. And you just, what would you put on? What's
A
your
minute,
Roll it down the hill.
25 seconds later, fucking Brick's like, "Pff, that's all I
What
got."
what song would I put on?
Yeah.
That's it.
Fucking Top Gun into the danger
See,
zone.
then
dude.
you'll be a minute in, you're like, it's the final countdown. He's like, dude, we're trying to get this thing going now, dude. If you want to get more RPMs per second, dude,
It'd probably be.
it'd probably be how many RPMs in that 1 minute 45
What's that one
seconds you said?
song on
It's like,
Guitar Hero?
Freebird?
No.
Oh,
It's
no,
like
no, no.
just
Yeah, I know
tap
what you're
row.
talking
Dragon
about.
Force into the flames through the fire.
Into
I
the
think.
flames.
Yeah, that would be it.
Because that's the shit that always
It'd be
makes,
going.
Because how do you charge up a vehicle if it runs out of gas and you're out in the middle of nowhere, dude? You're fucked, dude. You can't even push the thing. They're heavy.
You'd
as
have to
shit.
start making all your own gas, dude.
Electricity.
Refining it.
You're just like, that's
Start
what
a
you tell him,
kingdom.
dude. You're like, "Vzz."
You're like, Brenda, this is why we can't be together. There's no electricity between us. My car runs
Yeah.
out.
You ain't a queen.
got no spark. They got no.
Best. You're probably a fucking peasant. Get rid of a
Yeah, you're just like,
this way. Opens a random ass
nowhere.
door. Yeah. Leave.
he takes every girl that he ever dates to like the same
Shadow realm,
psychic, you
dude.
know, he wants to see. He's like, she's like, you were a queen in your past life. Oh, you're so fucking lucky. You're so lucky, dude. I was about to break up with you.
That's one thing I'd like
goes
to
to
have
the
is a
end.
shadow realm that I can banish people to. Banish them.
And you can go watch them from now on.
They just fall. They're always falling.
God, if Edmund was up started doing that to chicks, he'd be like,
Shadow
"Oh,
realm.
yeah, you're the to
That's
the
best
shadow
part,
realm."
dude. In fucking
They would follow you around. I
Thor
bet.
Ragnarok, where fucking Loki gets banished, but he just falls the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Oh, that's
what's
like
his
Alice
name?
in Wonderland or whatever.
Fucking Doctor Strange. He brings him back. I've been falling for 45 minutes or something like that. That's so funny. Anyways, back to the show.
Because what do you guys want to? I guess send the people with. We got to give the people something. I think we should tell them to do some boss moves. You guys been checking anything
Boss
else?
moves are great, dude.
Checking anything out?
Warzone DMZ is also great. It's all the rage right now, and it's probably gonna be all the rage for a while. What else?
I wanted to also too. We talked about the FTX thing. I wanted people to look into that shit. So that's another thing too. Is there's a lot of YouTubers that I actually follow, and they've actually recommended to do that. I never moved my crypto to those kind of things. One, I wasn't that big into wanting to do that kind of stuff, and also two, they did have a weird. I don't know. Some of that stuff just seems weird to me. I'm like, but it's weird when the government does it. Why can they do it? And it worked out well, but at the same time, it's good for other people to kind of check all that kind of stuff out. So look into. I say look into stuff that whatever you're interested in, because there might be more to the story than you think. You know, it's like
Possibly.
the Paul Pelosi story that's going on, dude. Check that shit out.
Sus.
Yeah.
Sus.
How do you call the cops to a place, answer the door for them, bring them to the person, show them the person, not tell them to leave or whatever. Both you guys are in your underwear, and then the attack happens when everybody's there. It's like, that's so odd. It's really weird, huh? It's like, why was
Calculated.
Could have been anything, but there's more information that came out that made it even more weird, and you're like, that's just odd. But you just don't hear about certain things because it's like,
Never
it's
forget.
irrelevant.
Never forget.
Never forget.
Never remember.
Always remember shiz, dude, because
You won't. Well, it's weird because all of a sudden now Nancy Pelosi is no longer Speaker of the House. It's now Mitch McConnell. The Republicans are going to be in charge, and things are going to be different. 'Cause now that blue are no longer taking over, and it's like, okay, see how it goes.
we'll
you
see
know,
about that.
Trump was running for president, and he's like saying all this stuff, and then he also slips in there. He's like, yeah, and the one way to get rid of a lot of drug crimes is just put everyone that has a drug crime to death. It's like, what the fuck? I don't know about that, dude. Murdering motherfuckers for
A drug crime?
Yeah, for drugs. It's like
Who said that?
Trump did death penalty for
Fucking-
people.
Apparently, King Trump.
I was like, what? I was like, hey, man. I was
Make
like,
way.
yeah, I was like, I don't know about that shit.
What? You took ibuprofen? That's a drug?
This guy with the little sword.
Yeah, he just goes
Just
in there.
appears. No, it's like Hezbollah appears.
Dude, that'd be funny, dude. He's just like munching. He's just like. He's just like,
Still, he's got a little fucking.
Oh,
little,
look at him. He's so cute. Right to the throat.
it's business. It's like, the business.
Don't hate the fucking
Yeah,
plate.
знаю. Walks away.
Yeah. King's orders.
That's one guy I'll also too recommend to follow on Instagram or Twitter, all that kind of stuff. But Hezbollah, he's funny, dude. He's got funny ass posts.
What are you sending people off with?
That's what I was saying. I was saying to look into it, also to do the boss moves. What about you guys? What do you guys?
I have nothing, dude. Just
Anything you've been looking at this week that get something spicy for these people?
I was trying to look into some conspiracy theories, but they were leading nowhere. I was trying to like come up with some stuff,
Make your
like
own.
not really make my own, but kind of people that have risen in popularity over the years. I was trying to make connections with to see if they were part of certain groups and like if that led to their rise in stardom or fame. Like a lot of TikTok people that explode out of nowhere and they kind of become super famous, super popular over a year or something, right? They're like super in the mainstream. What happened, how they got there, and is it just meme? Is it just like a meme, like you go in popularity? Or is there something deeper, like were they part of a church or something? Or was their family secretly part of a group of
Cabal or something.
cabal or something that, because like for instance, there's
How would that help, though?
like hear me out for a second. There's tons of people on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
Hundreds.
Millions.
And then there's some that blow up and they become super famous.
Yeah.
What's the connection between the famous people, the ones that blow up and become famous? Is it just good timing,
Definitely.
good content, or is there something else?
I think it's a mix of everything because it also doesn't last that long, right? It's really
Some.
hard to stay relevant.
Yes, some. But there's some that
Because I remember in TikTok, there was a lady who was redesigning logos, but she did them really shitty, and it was hilarious.
right.
And
But she doesn't blow. She's not as big as some other people.
but like
Like
they get a
stardom.
lot of fucking views and shit.
Where
right?
if
So
you were
it's,
to
like,
see her on the
popular.
street walking around, would you be like, "That's her"?
Yeah, definitely.
I just know there's some people like that. And anyways, that's what I was trying to dig into, but I got nowhere. So
So you don't think there's the one thing that I'll find on some of those is sometimes it's even like
not that I didn't find anything.
because like
I just haven't gotten anywhere yet.
it's like what with the Charlie whatever's the D'Amelios or whatever.
She was one of the ones I was looking
Yeah,
into. 'Cause I
her
was like,
family,
is she
their family worked for them, or like
they were
worked
already
for,
rich, right?
Yeah, they're like work for like CMA, like
right?
or whoever they are, agencies or whatever, and they had seen how that was, and they partnered with them coming up with a bunch of their youth talent,
Right.
And it was like,
And that's kind of what I'm that's kind of what I'm getting into is like, is it just that you are memeing at the right time at the right place, or is there something deeper than that?
Yeah, is there a little bit of help?
Because there's tons of people out there who are way funnier, who are way more talented than some people, like that girl. But they don't go nowhere. They don't make it anywhere. They're not millionaires. They're not out on a beach somewhere in Bahamas. So is there something else to that algorithm? Anyways.
So they're like peasant of the month, basically.
Yes, except for instance, like that girl, she wasn't peasant of the month. She became super popular, super famous. Whereas other people, they don't even become peasant of the month. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, is there a connection between,
Peasant of the week.
for instance, Hezbollah and that girl? Is there something there? Like, is there some sort of organization that they're part of?
That would be a good love story.
in there? Well,
Hezbollah
goes in there.
The D'Amelio girl.
Because I think it's to like that depth of it. Because I see what you're saying. Because there's the one like remember Greta Thunberg? She used to be pretty big, where she was the climate activist, and there's
and she's just like what? She was like 14.
Yeah, she's like
Some-
18
She's like
or
48 now, dude.
no, yeah, she
No,
looks
when
like
she
it. She
became-
looks like an angry little
Yeah.
48-year-old, but she's 19 or something now.
But when she first became popular,
Oh, yeah, when she was like 14.
she was like 14.
But her parents are
Which is
super
crazy.
rich, and she's like an autistic kid. Apparently, has a form of it. But
Everybody's
right when
autistic.
she turned 18, she tweeted out a tweet. She's like, "Yay, now my handlers can't say whatever," and everyone joked about it and stuff. And like a year later, at one point, she accidentally tweeted a thing when there was some kind of riots going on in Italy, and all these celebrities had posted stuff. Why are we not talking about it? Or why do you need to be talking about this or whatever? Something to do with climate change. And she posted it, but in her picture links of it was the picture links that the agency had sent her to how to click into what links to click in for what to post. And so when you go into it, so she wasn't supposed to post those ones because it was like they sent her a link in the email and it showed her pictures like go into the link in the email and click on this and go to this and do this and click this. And it shows all the celebrities. And it was showing like Rihanna and all these people had said to do this. So when
Right.
people go to Rihanna's was word for word like, I am shocked. Why are we not talking about this? And so they had to instantly delete it or whatever.
So
and now you see
oh,
her, she's on
shit.
ice, dude. You don't ever see her anymore.
And they
It's like-
disappear.
Yeah,
Like
it's
they
like-
get off the
they're
fame.
like, "Ooh, we need to key you down a little
Yep.
bit.
Wait,
you know?
wait. So is she the hero? Do you think
Maybe.
she did it
Oh
on
yeah.
purpose?
She's like, hey, maybe you never.
No, I think it slipped. I think it's an
I don't
accident.
know about
I
that,
think it's an
dude.
accident.
She's probably like,
that
I
wasn't
can't
her
handle
first
it.
time doing it.
because
right?
you don't. Because
It's
dude,
true. She probably was into that's what she only
or
knows
she was trying to
that
make
way.
a comeback. Like, let me do this. Maybe this will get me back into the spotlight.
But it got her.
But it got you canned because
Back in
you're
school.
exposing something that you're not supposed to be.
Do you think they get paid per tweet and shit?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, I think they get paid like that, and then also too, it probably is the weirdly of their contracts where I'd heard
How
that with
shitty
Disney
is that,
though.
Like, think about it though, dude. Like, someone just hits you up out of the blue brick. Hey, if you tweet this,
$10,000.
50 G's, dude.
That-
50 G's in your account, dude. We don't say nothing. You don't say nothing. We'll give you the tax money for it too.
I think it's more in depth than that.
Definitely.
I think it's more
what
like,
I'm
hey, what do you-
saying though, how difficult would it be for a random person? Because everybody's like, oh, that's a horrible thing to do. But like someone who just randomly hits you up and they have the money for it and you know it.
I think it's so in depth that you don't even know you're doing it until you end up 10 years down the road
With
snapping
bags.
into it and you're like, holy shit, I've been pushing this agenda for this group that like is in the like the dark side of the
Well, they
human
definitely
race.
have a guy show up or a woman or a they or them
No, I don't
show
think-
up to your house and they have a clipboard and they say, what do you want? And then you say, I want to be a good person. You know,
Yeah.
this is okay. Yeah, we'll line you up. This is our algorithm shit that you have to post and we'll send it to you throughout the rest of your
And then
life.
you'll just get paid.
There you go.
Yep.
Right?
And yeah, and you're doing these things and you're posting these things and you're promoting things and without
That's going to
even
make you
knowing
look
it.
good.
Yes.
Like how you
Right.
asked and all that shit, right?
Yeah, and then without even knowing it, you are promoting the new world order in a sense.
I think with her, I think she was in on the contract where they're probably like, oh, you have to do this, where she kind of has no option because she gets paid monthly or like let's say CMA agency or something. Maybe is like kind of their
Who are we
person.
talking about?
Greta.
Okay.
But bringing it back to the FTX thing, dude. So the guys I watch on YouTube, I'll even shout them out. Grant Steffen's one of them. Andre Zink is one of them. Kevin O'Leary is a guy, and even you look at
The Shark Tank guy?
Yeah, the Shark Tank guy, and Larry David, the comedian. All these guys were promoting FTX. All of them promoted it. And they were even talking about it where Graham Steffen's like, I knew it was a suspect to me, and I don't ever take these brand deals and stuff. And he's like, but I in the crypto space is so new, and he's like, it's better to be first than last. And he's like, I'm not gonna lie. He's like, the amount of money that came, he's like, it was crazy. And he's like, why don't I do that? And he's like, why am I not on the first cuffs of this? And he's like, he's like, it almost subconsciously tricked me to being like, because it was there, and you're like, this is a positive. Why not?
Can you blame him though? Like,
No, you can't.
you don't know the future.
Probably,
don't.
I bet it was six
And I mean,
figures.
how
dude,
many
they gave
people
him,
were
dude.
behind it? The whole
Easily,
DNC, dude.
Easily, if somebody came up to you and they're like, "Hey, man, dude, for this great cause, like we're gonna be planting trees here in the great state of Wyoming where we live. If we were to pay you $10,000 to go out into the mountains and plant some trees to make it look like you were doing something, would you do it? Like it'd be for a great cause." And you're like, "Hell yeah, dude!" And you do it, but in reality, you're supporting tree growth.
bad trees.
Bad trees.
It
kill
destroys
the soil.
it destroys the soil, destroys the terrain.
Well, it's like
what?
that. Well,
Invasive
not really,
species.
There's
like that.
there's actually a lot of things where they push for it, like
Just
letting
for face.
iguanas live in Florida. I think they should eradicate all iguanas in Florida.
I've
Whoa.
seen them
Like,
hunting them. I've seen that.
Turn them
videos of
into shoes or
Darts.
something.
have full iguana shoes.
But there's people out there that
Little
that
arms on
don't
them
want
still.
that to happen. That they're like, oh, that's you're murdering all these animals. But what they don't realize is that one species of iguana that's invasive is killing 30 species of animals
Cats.
that live
and
there.
plants and
And
everything.
plants
It's
and
crazy.
that live there. So it's like they're promoting to save this animal.
Well, that's why we
killing
have
30
states,
animals.
right? So the state.
Right.
So when you live in California or Nevada or wherever, and you're like, wait a second, don't kill the iguanas. I have one as a pet. That stays in a cage. Doesn't go outside. Hasn't
That's
fucked
fine.
more and had
But as soon as
babies.
it goes
You know what I'm
outside,
saying?
Wipe it out.
That's what I'm
Bam,
saying.
dude, right in the fucking
As soon as
dome,
it steps outside, Admir's been sitting at his window.
waiting.
Yeah.
It's a little tiny bullet,
Yep.
specifically made for
He's got like
iguanas.
7 piss bottles. He's like,
No,
thank God. Thank God he's been waiting. Just like,
they're the 2-liter bottles. They're full. They're starting to get fucking gross.
The
and grow and
owner,
shit.
the owner, the lady just looks at you. She was neutered.
yeah, he's like got the
You're like, oh, shit.
friggin' 6 bottles of whiskey or whatever.
Now
like,
she's
that's all
a
he's
pair of
thinking to
fucking
himself.
gloves.
Yeah, she's my left shoe, and it's like just got little arms and like little face. I seen a guy with cobra shoes that has a little cobra on it. It's like,
Dude,
off the
That's
tip.
hard.
Was it like the fucking off Breaking Bad, the Sicario dudes, where their boots come
Yes, they were Mexican.
Oh,
dude.
that's sick, dude.
What,
yeah,
dude?
that's how it was. Like,
up? I'm just
ready to
saying,
go.
like, you know how their boots come up like this and they like toe up? What if you had a fucking cobra head there?
That's what it was.
Cobra Tay.
Is that what it was? It was
Yeah,
like
it
the
was
shoe
like
would come
that,
up.
and then the cobra
That's
head.
dope,
with the
dude.
fucking hood and everything.
That's actually pretty
So
cool.
yours could be the iguana with iguana head, and you're like, oh,
Yeah,
Not as cool.
not
but-
as cool.
it'd be like,
dangerous.
Or
what is it, Happy
dangerous.
Gilmore?
I'd
You
even
gotta
on the
let
back of the
gator
boot,
with a little arm or a little thing.
like right here, I'd have the tail coming
He's a
out.
boot guy.
So as I'm walking, like cobra head.
Oh, there you go,
Or
yeah.
iguana head, iguana tail.
with the
There you go.
rattle still on
With-
it. It's
yeah.
a cobra. It's not even a
With
rattlesnake.
a rattlesnake.
But you put one on
Yep.
there.
Dude,
That when I'm
yes.
walking.
It's like a jackalope. You know how they upgrade the jackalope? You just make this crazy iguana. It's a chupacabra. You can put a little freaking thing on it, dude. Maybe put like the gills on it, like it's the thing that spits the tar
I
from
would do it, dude.
Jurassic Park. It's like,
Or get a fake pair of shoes like a dog.
When you click your shoes, like
there you go. Yeah.
Go
who's
really
the-
hard. A puppy.
Dude, yeah,
That'd be
they
so
think it
sad.
is.
It's like a golden retriever doggy. Like
yeah.
fucking.
What the hell are those? This is the 102 and 103 Dalmatians. What the fuck?
Who's
They
that
didn't need
girl that
'em.
like
They didn't
taps
need
your
'em.
shoes and she like disappears?
Dorothy from.
It'd be like
Wizard-
Dorothy.
fucking
I
Wizard of
tap
Oz.
my shoes, pff, sprays out iguana
Piss.
tar.
Psst.
right in
oh
your
god,
eyes.
it fucking smells like piss, dude. It's like they're.
It's skunk piss.
This is what snakes do, dude. When you catch a snake, you're like, oh, and they like start wrapping up. They start like pissing and shitting this weird
Hell yeah.
pheromone. Because now they're like, they have no defense, so they're like, I'm just gonna do everything to get you off of me or whatever.
Why wouldn't you?
I know how you're like.
That's what I
stupid.
do when I get cornered.
Like in a prison cell and shit. Yeah, just so shit.
You guys are making me do this.
If you just leave, it'll stop.
Oh man.
I've been holding the sun.
Do you have anything that maybe you want to send the people with and shit? Cause
Yeah, dude.
I'm trying to dig,
fucking,
in there.
Fucking DMZ, dude.
Yeah.
Join.
Oh, the DMZ, yeah.
FPS
I was trying to
40, dude.
Damn it. That's right.
Do
up
it.
in there.
Adam.
If you want the game to be on easy mode, dude, friend me.
Yeah, I was gonna try and pull up some more of that like stuff in there, but yeah, so like kind of wrapping it up with the FTX thing and all that. Dude, there's probably no right or wrong way for you to like. I was even thinking that with your money when everyone tells you like, hey, you do this, like Kevin O'Leary, you got all these
Mattress.
people, all this kind of stuff. Yeah, like hiding the mattress, or even saying you're putting stuff in there. We're getting inflation right now, so if you have some kind of money, there's a lot of money in your bank's actually going down in value when you could be buying other stuff like say houses. So buying one in 2020 was actually not a bad idea when you get an interest rate at 2%, where now they're like 8 or 7%. So you're gonna be paying $200,000 more on a piece of shit, you know?
Yeah.
You're like, man. So sometimes it's even looking at like that, where back in the 2020 when everything was stopped, and they're like, man, dude, now's the worst time probably to buy a house. Everyone's buying homes because it was hard to get into stuff. When really looking at it now, it was a perfect time because the rates were really low, all that kind of stuff. And I've heard it in like Gary Vee's books. I hear it in Tim Ferriss. All these people talk about it when they say the best time to do anything is basically right now. Or so like if they say it's the worst time right now, you're at the worst time in your life. Now's the time,
down,
dude.
Up, down, up, down.
Yeah, we have a lot of people asking us about like the podcast and stuff.
How to
And
start
we're
a
flattered.
podcast.
Yeah, we're flattered. We love you guys. We love it.
We'll give you one tip on how to start a podcast. The first tip is designate a time throughout the week, no matter what. That time is the time to do the podcast. It's not
False.
time. It's not
Show
time
up.
to just fucking, can't do it this time.
That
No.
could be the second one. I'll give you the first
That's
tip.
the first one, dude.
No, no.
'Cause
The
you have to
first
show
tip
up, yeah,
is
you-
just fucking do it. Just do it.
No, dude, because
Just do
Just
it. We have to
do
clip,
it.
we got to clip that
if you,
too.
you just designate a time and
Yeah.
you will get a podcast.
Yeah, you got to start doing it because, of course, everything comes out after. You're gonna be like, but it's you just learn it along the way. Yeah, you got to edit it. Yeah, you get a program. But before you do that, you got to get something that puts it in there, and you got to get something that catches it.
Yeah.
You need a place to do it, and then you need something to go through it, and then you're gonna need a place to put it, and it all comes in time because once you put it places, you need to put the logo for people to see it, and
Yeah.
it's with and I imagine it's with everything, and
And we know people with top of the line equipment, microphones, all this shit, dude. Still can't do it.
and just chilling. Yeah, and
Find
it's
the
just
time.
chilling there.
Keep the time.
And then you look at savages that just pull their cell phones out, yeah, and then just straight up go live streaming like this, that start the podcast like that, and then they move to mics, and then they move to the thing. Dude, I think it is. It's 90% showing up and stuff like that,
Yeah.
because like that's what
10% luck,
Oh,
50%
shit, here we go.
skill,
it is.
and 100% just
we
doing
just
it.
enjoy.
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
Fuck it.
Yeah,
do it
'cause
live.
I like showing up just to do it. It's fun, and we have been doing it. We just do it because it's fun and stuff. And there's a lot of people that like watching it and they enjoy it too. And now that's what's great. So it's like, shit, we like hanging out. And since we all can't hang out with you all the time, right now, this is how we can hang out with all of you. Enjoying each other's company, even though you can't be with us. We know that you're there in spirit, and we like to just
There's
yuck
a
it
couple
up
of you I don't
and-
really want to hang out with.
in
but-
there. But hey, this is why it's
You, the
perfect.
double
You can
person.
jam it out.
You.
And that's what's awesome too. They can go. They can go listen
This one
to
takes a little bit
something
longer,
else,
dude, because she's kind of pretty. Oh, actually, she's really pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, doubling up.
Just the camera gets closer and closer.
He like walks over a little, moves
She's
a little
starting
bit.
to sweat. Back of the line! It's like, God damn it.
Dude, I'd hella hire you, dude.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude. Give me a fucking trumpet.
You'd be my guy, man.
This is it, dude. Thank you for watching the Lost Minds podcast. We'll be back.
And we love you guys.
In a week.
Yeah. See you next time.
Ciao. Auf Wiedersehen.